Well, good day there, little stars. Hello. Welcome to stream. Why am I so loud in my own goddamn ears? Quiet down me. I don't need to be that loud. Alright, that should be better. Yeah, no, yeah, probably, yeah, yeah, it is. I had the French thing done again. I don't know how it keeps happening. I don't even turn it on, but it's working now. So, welcome to stream, everybody. Yeah, the twist is, friend, is that I've got Riz in this game, because normally I don't have that. Apparently, I've got no Riz. Alright, let's transition over. Hello! Good day! Hi, friends! Hello! Welcome to stream. Turn down the music in my ears. Too goddamn loud. Alright, I have music now. Hello! Hello! Yeah, the twist is that I've got Riz, which is not normally a phenomenon I have. Normally, I don't got no Riz. I got no Riz usually. I know that from how many times Zoe wanted to freaking date me. She hates me. Okay, anyways. Welcome. We are playing Seduce Me today. We're back on Erik's route. We were on a little hiatus for a moment, mainly because it was Easter and I was in no mood to stream. Let's just put it that way. Was not having a good week. Of no Riz, using that term in the first place is proof. Wow! Fuck you. Fuck off, nerd. Fuck right off. Rude. Can I pick a different song? This one's fine, but I want something better than this. You know what? Let's do this one. There we go. That's Sexy Erik. That's better. Yep, we're playing Erik's route. We're probably going to finish up today, which is very fun. For our lovely friend who doesn't know anything about this game, this is a game that I kind of grew up playing. Kind of. I played this when I was very, very small. Joe has... Wait, don't know if y'all get the reference, but Joe has no Riz. I know a Joe, but I don't know if the Joe you are referring to is the same as one I know. But yeah, this is an Otome game that I really enjoy and I really wanted to play through again and share my kind of experience with my community here on YouTube, because it's a very fun and silly game and the boys are very silly. It's a complete the first game, the version I'm playing does cost money, but the original, like if you go onto Steam, the original Seduce Me the Otome is a completely free game. It was made literally with no money. Is that a Joe Schmo? Yeah, that's what I was asking, Prophet. That's what I was wondering. Was that a Joe Schmo? I wasn't sure. But yes, this game is completely free, and I just want to share the love I have for this game because the creator is really awesome, and it's a very fun game. That's okay. You can always play it tomorrow. Tomorrow's always another day. All right, but let us get into the game. Let me just get things set up. All right. Looks good. All right. And I will turn off the music in my headset. Switching over. All right, and here we go. Okie dokie. Should be able to. Hopefully it's not too quiet. Please let me know if it is. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna fuck with the screen. Oh shit, yep, knew that was gonna happen. Let me just... a little more. There. Now I'll be able to see chat. Now let me fix that on the stream. There we go. I think that's right. Yes. Beautiful. I learned yesterday Seduce Me is an inspiration. Yes, yes, Prophet was telling me about this. I was literally... Funny, Prophet, you actually texted me as I parked at work. And I know you texted that to me when I was on the road driving. And I was like, hell yeah, Sam fan. Let's go. All right. Let us get into the game. You... Oh, look at all the support in chat. We love. Which save file was it? I don't remember the save file. I think it's this one. Yeah.
You are an interesting creature.
And you are a bitch! Let me turn her down in my headset. She's really loud. Jesus. Alright, we're gonna skip. I apologize for those of you who are new. If you want to see me play through the prologue and all this other stuff, go watch the other streams. There's a giant playlist on my channel. You can watch it through. I don't want to have to reread things I've already read. I've already read this. Because in Seduce Me 1, all the roots are pretty similar. There's only like a few handful of lines that are different. I'm not reading through this again. So if you want to go know what happens through this part, go watch my other streams. Moving on. All right. Shut up. Damien, I love you, but shut up. Shut up. I'm not talking. Oh, hell no. All right. Moving on. What is it? Okay. Why silence? We're off to a great start. Apologies, I'm very tired today. Was silence truly them saying no to her? I looked around at the boys and saw the disobedience in their eyes, giving me my answer. Oh, whoops. My heart, I felt my heart flutter, especially when my eyes landed on Erik. He kept close to me, glaring daggers into Diana. I could feel that he was completely adamant in his choice to stay. I don't know what, but I was incredibly happy to know he wanted to stay. Diana sighed and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, moving on. Okay, Erik walked over to me and gently caressed my cheek, looking at me with concern.
She won't harm you, princess. I promise.
Thanks, Chris. Welcome to the stream where I address all the boys by their voice actors. This is no longer Erik. No, this is Christopher Escalante. Oh my lord. Love him. All I hear is Ian though. I just hear Ian. It's just Ian. Hi Ian. Alright, moving on. Oh, the game does seem quiet? Okay, I'll turn it up. Alright. Let me hold on. We'll play the line.
She won't harm you, princess. I promise.
Was that better? I'll give you all a moment, and I just now noticed the screen is not properly fixated. Yeah, Papa. There we go. Alright, let me know if that was better. I've decided that my lunch will be a handful of cashews. Oh, hell no, I'm not remembering how she will call. As long as you get that. Okay, I'm gonna assume that was better. Let me know if it wasn't. I nodded, feeling that he was telling the truth, or at least a hopeful and comforting thought. Erik gently took my hand in his and kissed my knuckles, however, making me blush and forget what I was thinking about. I don't think that was either that was not a correct sentence or my brain is not computing. Blah, blah. The sound of collective chuckles and playful snickers whispered through the air, making me blush even more, but as Erik cleared his throat, the laughter stopped. I looked up to see he was glaring at his brothers with his lips on my hand. He was really like, shut the fuck up, let me rizz her up. Oh my lord. Alright, shut the fuck up, woman. Not true. I keep the music pretty quiet, I will say. The dialogue should be loud, but I keep the music fairly quiet in the game. Just because I don't personally really like having all the loud music. Distracts me from the voice acting.
Not true. How so?
I guess I could turn... I just find that the voices tend to be... Hold on. I'll max out the voice acting. Alright, we're skipping. Alright. I watched as she leaned in, ready to kiss me and take my energy. Half of my body felt... elation at the idea. The other half completely rejected it and didn't want her to touch me. Erik. Suddenly, Diana stopped in her tracks.
Erik, who is...
Is it still quiet? This looks like a speed run. I just have read this before. A lot of the dialogue is the same. I'm sorry. Prophet, if you would love to message me on Discord if it's still quiet or not, that would be fantastic if you could. It would be fan-freaking-tastic if you could let me know through Discord if it's still really quiet. Because it's not quiet to me. Apologies for the technical difficulties. It doesn't seem like the volume changed. It's still quiet? Really? I guess I can... Hold on, let's try that. Oh.
Erik, who is...
Like, The music is meant to be quiet. Kita, our eternal visual knowledge speedrunner, a pioneer of her faith. Thank you, nerd. Thank you. Kita's the #1 Seduce Me speedrunner out of the animations. You'll be set. The thing is it's not quiet on my wouldn't be a stream without scuff. Oh, Prophet. It's not. I could turn it up more. Because, like, it's coming through. I mean, I keep it generally pretty quiet. Let me just... You know what? We'll max it really quickly.
Erik, who is...
Is that better? I feel like that's going to be too loud. Is that better? Okay, that seemed to do something. It went up a bit. Okay, I'm changing the dial stuff. Was that better? Hold on. One more time.
Erik, who is...
Yeah, all the mic volumes are really different, and Chris's mic, I don't know what he was using, but his S's and T's are really sharp, and they pierce my ears, which is why I maxing it out definitely worked. Okay, thank you, Prophet. Round of applause for our beautiful moderator in chat, who also is the one who is keeping me on track and making sure the volume is good. All right, let's keep going. I'll let this play out. It then dawned on her.
Ah, one of the boys. Why don't you tell me which boy is Erik?
All right. Hopefully, the other boy's voice don't pierce my fucking ears. We'll find out. Because that's the reason, like, I have the volume for Eric's a little down. Was because he's always piercing my ears with his voice. I felt myself nod in compliance. The second. Diana giggled in reply before letting go of my face and stepping back.
Really? The sly second? With you?
The sly second? For a second, I thought she was going to say the sly slut. I thought she was going to call Erik a slut. Apologies, Erik. Apologies. He's not, but, like, it would have been funny if she did. Oh my gosh. I nodded once again, but this time it was partly my own decision to reply. Diana let out a sound that mimicked a cat's purr before stepping away from me.
All right, then. Well, if it's the second son you're infatuated with, you should really rethink your romantic options.
The only time you never said that to me was when I was with Damien, so shut the fuck up, bitch. Yes, Prophet is MVP. MVP Prophet. Best moderator. Okay, Diana chuckled before kissing my nose, where I felt a shot of energy zap out of my body, almost making me dizzy in recoil. Diana then turned to the desk and sat on the wood, crossing her legs.
You can go now. Remember, no class for the rest of the week.
And how am I supposed to get home? My 2 friends left me here thanks to you.
Oh, were they your ride? My apologies. Let me help then.
Diana then lifted her hand and snapped her fingers. I suddenly felt the floor sink from underneath my feet, forcing me to look down. A purple pentagram surrounded my feet, pulling me into the ground. Whoa! Before I could fight, however, I sank fully into the floor, fading into darkness and shutting my eyes. As I opened them, I felt my silk sheets around me, soothing my anxiety from the darkness that had previously surrounded me. What the? Why did Diana bring me home? Was this an illusion? Was I being tricked? Something was going on. I sat up, looking around me. I was indeed in my room. There was no mistake about it. Why? Diana is too strange. Was this a game? Was this part of her plan to get back at the boys? To get the boys back? I was lost and confused more than ever, despite my logical thought trying to piece the puzzle that is Diana together. The more I tried to solve her, the less I understood about the situation I was in. I can't speak French. I was interrupted, however, by my door suddenly opening, revealing the boys with Damien's hand on the doorknob.
Miss, what are you doing here?
Aren't you supposed to be in school?
I furrowed my eyebrows and stared at Damien, asking him to answer their questions through my thoughts.
Diana sent her back here. She invaded her school and sent all the students back home.
Damien! My boy! My love! The love of my life. My beautiful boy. I love you too, Sam, but Damien is baby. Damien. Baby boy. Baby.
What is that bitch up to? Seriously! Diana's playing around for no reason.
Hi, Alejandro.
Maybe it's part of her plan.
The boys continued to argue back and forth about Diana, fueling an almost jealous curiosity in me. Damien seemed to be deep within the talking to notice my thoughts, for he didn't even stop talking alongside his brothers. Why was Diana after them? Why did she want to bring them back? What was so important about the boys that she would travel to the human world to get them? What was going on? I decided enough was enough. I needed answers. Hey! The boys stopped arguing, staring at me in surprise. I held my hands and fists on my lap, mustering the courage to continue to speak despite my abrupt shout. Why is Diana here? Why does she want to bring you all back? What exactly did you all run from? Why did you run from it?
Miss,
Don't miss me, please. I need to know what is going on. I won't be left in the dark about this. I want to know what I'm facing. Being a simp. Oh, no. She does me. Ah. No. No. Each boy has their own power. Does she make cute sounds? We love to. Powers are normal here? Yes, they are demons. They feed off of sexual energy and utilize it to have their unique powers. Also, because all of the boys besides Matthew aren't pure incubi. Erik is half Dream Eater. James is half Soul Eater. Sam is half spoilers. And then Damien is half Shadow Demon. So each of them are half-breeds, except Matthew. Matthew is pure incubus. Demons all have powers. Yeah. So they all have their own unique abilities and stuff. Oh, yes, no, prophets. If I recommend watching the Matthew streams, we get a good sense of that from the Matthew streams. Prophet being adorable. But yeah, I hope that helps clear it up. The boys looked at each other hesitantly, unsure of what to reply. Finally, Sam pushed Damien towards the bed, making him buckle and land on his knees with his torso over the edge of the mattress. Sam, be careful with my boy.
Damien, do the thing.
The thing? The thing? The thing? What thing?
Sam, You're not suggesting.
Why not? She deserves to know everything. Especially if Diana is targeting her.
Honestly, like, Sam is so valid for that. We love a man who respects us and wants us to be in the know for things. Thank you.
Sam's right.
I guess we have no choice then.
I was getting confused. What was Damien about to do? Damien stood before climbing onto the bed with me, sitting across from me on his knees.
We're going to show you everything. You have to trust me, okay? The minute you stop trusting me, the vision will stop.
Vision.
Princess, please trust him.
Did you have to say that so slowly? You could have. That didn't have to be that slow, Chris. It did not have to be that slow. He dragged out that princess. Michaela, what did you make this man do? Honestly, though, valid. What did you make this man do? Oh, gosh. I looked to Erik, unsure of what was going on, but I nodded. If this was the only way to learn, then this was my chance to know. Damien gently placed his hands on each side of my head, gently pressing his thumbs into the skin above my eyebrows. I could only stare at Damien as his eyes began to glow gold, and energy began to be both pulled out of me and forced into my head. Within seconds, my vision went black once again. I was unsure of what Damien was doing, but soon shapes and textures slowly began to appear around me. I'm pinning that grass. Fucking slay me. Bro, what are you on? I am so lost. Is there time to make a list? Dana, evil. The boys, neutral. Kita, unknown. Kita, Rizlord. What Emmy said. Check other streams. I have a full playlist on my channel. I recommend if you want like the full, just like, if you want the full, just like the main, like casual story, I just recommend watching like the first 3 streams because that's kind of what I focused on. Is just like the main story plot. I read through everything. I don't skip anything. I played Damien's route, so I recommend that one. If you're gonna watch any of them, I recommend that one. Hi, Mary. Grass, you need help though. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Pop in my stream be like that. Oh my god. Fucking slay me, dude. All right, moving on. Woo! I found myself sitting on a stone floor in the middle of what looked like a fantasy throne room. Since we do have a new friend, though, I will read through this. That's if you're wondering why I'm not pressing the skip button. Where am I? I looked around I looked down at myself to stand only to see my body as transparent as a ghost. Whoa! I jumped up and inspected my hands in a sudden panic. I was see-through. Why? What was going on?
How dare they try to negotiate with me? Do they not know whom they speak to?
I gasped and ran behind a nearby pillar away from the voice. The sound of his anger and words frightened every bone in my body, turning me into a frightened child.
My lord, please calm yourself.
Ugly pig fawn.
Calm? They're merely testing my resolve. I have more than half of a mind to send my greatest armies to take what should be mine. They are mere insects in the way of my kingdom's expansion.
No, me looking at wiki page for this game. Not me looking at the wiki page for this game. No. Prophet, help! Get them off the wiki! Get them off the wiki! They'll learn too much! They'll learn too much! No! Get off the wiki! Damn, see-through, how much did the MC take? Oh my god.
They merely asked for a marriage joining.
So I'm to bow to them and share my land that I have so rightfully conquered?
I peeked from behind the pillar to see a large demon covered in royal clothes, but buff enough to be a military commander. His rage practically emanated from his body as he growled at his servant.
They are willing to give their land to you, sire.
You know.
All they ask is for one of your sons to marry their daughter, whom I might add is as beautiful as can be.
You're telling me you can't hack into their computer, Prophet? What did I hire you for? What did I hire you for? I'm kidding. I am kidding. Thank you. Oh my gosh.
This is ridiculous! To suggest that I need their approval to take their land is beyond insanity. What makes them think I care about their precious daughter?
I heard you scream.
Did I mention that she is a prodigy of her
I
kind,
don't know how
sire?
to hack. I'm sorry. It's okay, Prophet. It's okay. We'll ask Idia to do it later.
A prodigy?
Yes, my lord. This
Choking.
succubus is a master of her skills in magic and mind manipulation. She is said to sway armies with a snap of her fingers, despite being as young as she is.
Impossible!
If only it were, sire. This succubus is dangerous, but would be a great asset to have should we agree to this arrangement. The only reason she cannot faze you, my lord, is because you are the strongest demon in the plains.
Is this supposed to change my mind?
Yes, my lord.
You are doing a terrible job at convincing me.
My apologies, sire.
I was lost. Truly. I could tell that they were talking about Diana, but why?
Father.
Oh, I hear a certain voice. I quickly turned my head to see another demon, who looked like a mere child, staring at the demon commander on the throne. Father.
Ah, Raystrow, have you finished your training?
Yes, Father.
Then what do you want?
I want to be with my brothers the best of the day, Father.
The demon commander walked to the young demon and gripped his hair, picking him up off the ground and forcing him to look up at his snarl. The young demon, however, looked unfazed.
Huh. Arrogance. Why should I allow you to be with them? I should kill you for your lack of respect to me.
Do they not have shirts? They don't typically wear clothes in the demon realm, so no. At least incubi don't, because their whole idea is that they're sex demons, so clothing gets in the way, if you know what I mean. Clothes get in the way. They take up too much time to disrobe. Oh my god, laziness is encouraged by demons. Yes.
Because I want to be with them, Father.
I could only stare as the young demon faced his father. Despite the massive difference between them, this young demon seemed weaker and easy to kill versus the demon commander. Why would this man kill his son, though? Was this commander that ruthless? However, I wasn't expecting him to laugh and release the young demon.
Good! Assertive even in the face of danger. That is why you are my favorite son.
He's just your oldest, bitch. Fuck James. Fuck him. I could only stare wide-eyed as the commander placed his hand on the demon's shoulder.
Very well. Go.
They have...
Tomorrow, you will show me your training.
Wait, how do I... There you go. The boys don't wear pants, I will say. The little demon grinned widely before running off.
I have a thought.
Yes, my lord?
How old is this daughter?
As old as your 5th sire.
How do you know? Because reasons. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Do you believe this proposal is worth it?
Yes, sire.
Tell those insects that they are safe for now. I will consider their offer.
Sire, are you certain?
Did I stutter? Now go!
Did I stutter, bitch? The demon servant quickly ran off, but as soon as he passed the pillar I was hiding behind, he, along with the commander, vanished into thin air. What happened? I didn't get the time to try and to figure that out before a demon who looked around my age walked into the room reading a book. Is that?
Raestrow, your nose is stuck in those books. Will you not lift your head up from them once in a while?
Chris is really bad at being a kid, but it's also really wholesome and really cute. But Jesus Christ, Chris, don't ever do a kid voice, please. Huh? That voice. I circled around the pillar to see a second demon, leaning against another pillar and smirking at Raestrow.
Aren't you supposed to be with your mother practicing the harpsichord?
I am, but I had a feeling that you were in danger.
In danger? What are you...
Attack!
All of a sudden, 3 shadows zipped through the room and slammed into Raestrow, forcing him to fall to the ground and drop his book. As the sight cleared for me, there were 3 other demons in a dog pile with Raestrow at the bottom.
Get up!
I know he's doing his best, Prophet.
No way! You haven't had a break in months from those stupid books. It's time for punishment!
Death by brotherhood! No more reading!
Small Damien, small itty bitty boy, little baby Damien. I don't know if it's because I'm tired or something else. I don't know why I'm reacting so much to Damien today, but I am. Nighty night, Emmy. Oh, night, Emmy. Have a good night. He's evil. Oh, that would be me. That would be the streamer you're watching who pinned him, because that was funny and it made me laugh. Night, Emmy. Hope you feel better tomorrow.
I told you that you were in danger.
So snarky. I suddenly knew who these demons were. It's the boys. Even in the demon world, their brotherly connection was astounding. They were merely younger versions of themselves. One of the demons, who I assume was Matthew, grabbed the book from the floor and opened it, reading it mockingly.
How can you read this, Raestrow? It's all about war strategy. It's boring.
I have to, Zakaru. Get off!
Poor Bradley. Poor Bradley.
There's only one thing you need to know about strategy. Kill them all. Take no prisoners.
Oh my god, Sam.
You sound just like father.
You sound just like Mick Mignetta. I couldn't help but giggle. It was cute to see them acting childish with each other. Eventually, James managed to push his brothers off him and stand, brushing himself off.
You all are reckless. At least we have fun.
It's true. You haven't been with us in weeks. Don't you think it's time for a break?
I'm sure Father won't mind.
But I have to...
I know you want to, Raestrow.
So cute.
Damn it.
What is going on here?
I shot my head to the voice to see the commander, aged a little, staring at the boys, with his arms across his chest. Damien quickly dashed and hid behind Sam, peeking over his shoulder to see the large commander.
Nothing is going on. We just passed by each other.
Then why does your brother have your book?
I was showing him what I was learning, Father.
Wait, the vision. Yeah, this is the vision. That's what we're in right now. We're in the vision that Damien has put forth in our minds.
Return to your studies, Raestrow. The rest of you out of my sight. Do not disturb your brother again.
Damien's special ability is mind manipulation. Well, technically it's mind reading, but from what I gather, he has a lot of control over the mind as well. But yeah, that's Damien's special ability. And it's his, like, only he has it. What was Eric's is to pull a Glock out of nowhere. No, that was James. James is just, his power is pulling a Glock out of nowhere. Sam's is super strength. Matthew's is creating toys. He can create items from nothing. What was Eric's? What was Eric's? Wait, Prophet, do we remember what Eric's power was? I don't remember. Oh, his is to enter dreams. That's what it is. Eric's is to enter dreams. Eric's able to, like, enter the dreams. Power is gun. Yes, that is Eric's. James's power is gun. His power is gun. What? I think James actually had a different power, though. What was it? Eric's got the shadow tendrils. But that's not his special ability. That's just a weapon. Yeah, he has dreams. What was James's? What was James? James had a different ability. Hold on, I'm gonna grab the wiki. Hold on. Seduce Me wiki. Fandom. James, motherfucker that you are, get over here. Personality, appearance, history, maybe? I don't know. No one gives a shit. What's his ability? True ending, lesson in romance, demon war. Abilities. Oh yeah, okay, so I was right. His ability is that A, he's a smartass, and B, he can, yeah, his ability is he's a smartass who learns quickly and gone. That's his ability. Noted. Good to know. His ability is gone. That is funny. All right. On a seduction. I'm gonna ignore that. I could only stare as James gently took his book and, without looking at his brothers, returned to reading. The commander walked past the remaining brothers, growling at Sam and Damien before leaving the room. What was up with that?
Don't worry about it. We'll find a way to get him back.
I don't know. He's on a very tight leash.
Ezra, you're quiet. What did you hear?
He's going to a negotiation meeting. He's going to arrange a marriage.
Oh. I like how Damien hides behind Sam, and Sam is so chill to protect him. It's so cute, especially considering the fact that Sam and Matthew cannot stand each other. But Sam has a soft spot. It seems like Sam has a soft spot for Damien.
A marriage? For who?
And there he goes.
It must be for one of us.
He hasn't decided who will marry her. It's a girl from a kingdom he wants to take over.
But that's uncharacteristic of him. Usually he'd just attack with the army.
Whatever the case is, one of us is getting married.
I hope it isn't me.
What about Ray Strau? He's the eldest.
It would make sense, but having a succubus marrying one of us means that she'll be practically married to all of us.
Don't know how that works, Eric, but sure.
Well, what should we do?
Before the conversation could continue, the boys vanished into thin air, fading into different colored mist. They were replaced by an older Damien and Matthew, sitting with each other in the middle of the throne room.
Do you think we should?
I really want to.
I want to as well. Still, it'll be hard to convince Raistero, since he's the one about to be married, and he's the favorite.
We don't know that, Zakeru. Maybe she's set to marry you.
I don't know what your question is. Diana is the succubus, yes, that James is supposed to marry. Yes, that is correct.
No way! I don't want to get married.
I don't think you'll have a problem with that baby face of yours.
Look at those handlebars. Your wife? Nah, our wife. That's a different story. I looked over to see Sam join the duo, crossing his arms and raising an eyebrow at his brothers.
What are you two talking about?
We got into contact with the human world again.
Come on, Ezreal. You give humans too much attention.
No way, you gotta listen. They apparently have stores and books and schools and stuff.
So what? It's full of humans who piss on each other for no reason. They're no better than the devil spawn.
James. Prophet! Don't make me bonk you. Leave my boy alone.
Nuh-uh, the one we were talking to wasn't like that.
How do you know, Sakeru?
Because I do!
What is going on here?
They want to go to the human world.
The human world?
Human stuff? James is confirmed he's the Little Mermaid.
Raisuro, think about it. You won't have to marry that girl and be the heir anymore. You could be with us, and we can make lives for ourselves in the new world.
Sam is just being realistic. Leave him be.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
I vote that we do it.
Hi, Erik.
Huh? Oh, not you two.
Think about it. This may be our chance to finally get away from this political nonsense we're stuck in. We may be nobles, but we're still our own beings.
Hell yeah.
Ristro is in.
Azrael!
Good boy. Baby. My baby.
Woo! So how do we get there?
Are you kidding me? You don't even know how we'd get there.
How do we get there? Come on, let's go. Me and you and a boomer foo. Come along and see what's new. It's gonna be for you. Me and you and a boomer foo. Sorry. Did anyone else watch that show growing up, or was that just me? Did I just age myself? I freaking love Zaboomafoo. I don't know if we're gonna get through it today. It's whatever. Love Zaboomafoo. All right.
A simple spell should work, but it would require someone from the human world to help us get there.
No demons were chill like that. Hell yeah.
We can ask him.
You watched the Boomafoo. Oh god, I want to watch the Boomafoo.
Oh, he'd definitely help us.
I'm not so sure about...
Eric's
Reistra, aren't you tired of pleasing father all of the time?
Eric's head with the horn looks like a heart. Is that I believe so, because his whole idea is that like he's a seductor. He's a seducer. He's like the one who is like he was trained to be a true incubus. So it makes sense. Same with Matthew, but he's small. He's small. But yes, I believe that is intentional. Because he's the romance man of the group.
I am, but...
If you stay, you'll be married off and become ruler of father's
Hell
kingdom.
yeah.
You'll have no time for yourself or with us, and you'll be constantly at war with the other realms for power.
Thank you for
You'll
singing
most
with me,
likely
Prophet.
turn into the spitting image of father.
What he's saying is, get your head out of your ass and let's go. If you don't say yes, I'll drag your princely ass with us. I don't care what that bastard of a father wants.
That's my man.
Come on, Raisturo.
All right, let's do this. What's the plan?
I couldn't believe what was happening. I was seeing the history of their lives before my eyes. They were nobles, and James was the heir to the kingdom, and the commander ruled. Even more so, he was going to be married to Diana. They sacrificed everything to leave and be together. They'd rather be free than remain in their noble roles. I started to feel a little jealous. They were able to leave while I was still expected to be what my father wanted me to be. How they were able to leave was uncertain, still, but I knew I would learn in time. I closed my eyes and mentally asked Damien to end the vision. As soon as I asked, the world around me slowly vanished, and I was brought back to the bedroom where I sat with my head nestled in Damien's hands. My language skills are garbage. Oh, my mic, come on. Behave yourself, Mike, please. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh. Okay. My vision began to clear, letting me finally see the boys around me, all with concerned faces.
So, you now know exactly who we are.
Oh, shut up, James. Diana is the girl you were arranged to marry?
Not anymore. Once we left, the arrangement was broken. With no sons to marry off, her dad couldn't go through with the marriage deal.
Imagine evaporating and becoming oxygen. Oh my god. Grass! Why? Oh my god, I'm trapped in this never-ending cycle of hell.
If Diana is here for us, that means she's trying to save her kingdom from being attacked.
That's not true. She wants to rule our kingdom. Having one of us will give her the right to our kingdom as much as we'd have right over hers.
So she's a gold digger!
Matthew left field.
Well, with a kingdom like ours, what succubus wouldn't want to marry us for it?
Remember to hydrate. It all made sense. She wanted them so that she could finally take over an opposing kingdom. She knew that, despite her powers, she wouldn't be able to fight against their father. So she had to find another way in. That manipulative... Before I could continue, I felt my head suddenly get heavy and dizzy. I gripped my head, mewling under my breath. What the...
I took too much. I'm so sorry.
Oh, baby, you're okay. Don't worry.
Rest now. There's no need to do anything more today.
Look at me, I'm James. Can anyone tell I hate James? The boy suddenly rushed over and helped me lay back down as my vision was painted in white polka dots. That's a sign of blindness. I needed sleep badly. Instantly, I closed my eyes and let darkness consume me. The darkness consume me. What am I on today? I'm in a weird mood. After what seemed like hours, I finally woke up, slightly refreshed. My body knew that if it slept any longer, I'd be up all night, which was not part of the plan for the day. I rubbed my eyes and sat up, letting a soft groan escape my lips. In response, something beside my bed shuffled, causing me to look over. I didn't know what I was expecting. Beside me, sitting in a chair beside the bed, was Erik, rousing himself up to see me awake. I smiled at him, seeing his slightly ruffled hair and tired eyes.
You're awake, princess. That's a relief. How do you feel?
Better. Erik nodded before he gently reached over and placed his hand over mine, running his thumb over my knuckles and examining my face with soft sadness.
I must apologize, princess. To see you be hunted by both demons and devils, I feel entirely responsible.
If I have angels around me, then I have the trifecta, if you know what I mean. Erik, it's not your fault.
No, forgive me, but I can't stand the thought of them hurting you. If we had never come, you'd never be in danger.
Wait, it's like that scene from Twilight. When Edward is like over Bella's bed, she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Watching you sleep." Like that. I mean, there's a ton of Twilight fans out there. Surprisingly, I don't see the appeal, but people like it. I don't get it, but sure. My lord. Oh gosh. My sister says it's creepy. Don't ask me how I know this. I'm not diving into that one. Nope. I quickly reached over and placed my finger over his lips, stopping him from going any further. I didn't want to hear anymore. Erik, it's okay. I wanted to help you out. I offered to let you all stay. Nothing is your fault. I gently moved my hand and cupped Erik's cheek, staring at him with concern. I didn't want him to hold guilt in his mind about this whole ordeal. Diana was desperate and she'd hunt anyone for them. It wasn't his fault. She was desperate enough to hunt them down. Former Twilight fan, it was the vampire romance that did it for me. Not him standing methodically over your bed, staring at you and watching you sleep. However, I was curious. So, Erik, you're a noble? Erik chuckled before he stared at the hand he was caressing with a soft smile.
Yes, I'm a noble. My brothers and I are nobles. Well, I guess I should say were now, shouldn't I?
Were?
James was the demon prince when we lived in the Abyssal Plains. The others and I were simply nobles living in the castle, simply because of our bloodline. Should James fail or die, we were the replacements. Well, we didn't want to live like that, as simply replacements over our brother. So we all wanted to leave and be an actual family.
I'm ignoring chat right now. I'm ignoring you all. What was it like while you were living there?
Well, to put it simply, it was boring. James was constantly being trained while the rest of us had to constantly entertain ourselves without disturbing him. I, however, was also being trained under the guidance of my mother.
Your mother?
Yes, she was a lovely woman. I never knew what she looked like.
That made no sense. How could he not know what his own mother looked like? Erik, as if he read my mind, smiled and chuckled at the confusion on my face.
Our father had multiple wives. James, myself, Sam, and Matthew came from these very women. But tensions grew high when Damien was born outside our father's marriages. In order to quell the tension, our father had a powerful demon mage turn our mothers into simple, floating spirits. They lived, but they could not have physical form.
Which is fucked up. That's horrible.
It is, but which is better? A house where the sons of the Demon Lord could have their birth mothers, or watching these very women claw at each other's throats out of jealousy, leaving the sons with no true parental guidance?
Oh my god, I forgot. Sorry, I was looking at Discord group chat. I saw that prophet, which is funny that you've compared it to Genshin.
Our father didn't have time for anyone but James, so the rest of us needed someone to make sure we didn't grow up to be incompetent.
Erik had a point. It was horrid, but it was a logical point. I bit my lip and nodded in understanding. Erik gently brought my hand up to kiss my knuckles.
Would you like to see what I mean instead?
I stared, trying to understand what he meant. However, as the memory of when he showed me the demon palace replayed in my mind, I nodded and let my curiosity guide me. Erik smiled before holding out one hand to me and letting a small breath rush against my palm. I think it's supposed to say blush, not blush, brush against my palm. Against his palm. The English is garbage today. Instantly, the flower Erik had given me appeared in his hand, making him smirk and making me blush.
You kept it. Good.
Erik wrapped his fingers gingerly around the stem, giving it the magic it had been given before and casting an aura-like mirror before me. I proceeded to see the castle main hall once again. The memory of being in that hall, albeit by magic, sent a small shiver down my spine. I watched, however, as a very small demon walked arm in arm with a woman with cat ears and a tail down the walkway.
Tiffy, my sweet kitten, you truly astound me. Whatever shall I do with you?
The fuck, sir? Anyways, I am French, 11 p.m. for me. Good night, good day, good stream. Hope you have a night. Bye. Have a good night.
Stop it, you're making me blush.
But what if I want to make you blush? You're so much cuter when you blush, kitten.
Stop.
Ew. I felt my eye twitch in irritation. Why was Erik showing me this? Was he trying to spite me? I didn't want to see him flirt with demon girls. I already had some trouble with him flirting with me.
You sly incubus, you. I'll get in trouble for sure if I'm caught with you.
Then shouldn't we make the risk? worthwhile?
Shut up! Erik held the girl close to his body, looking about, ready to kiss her. The girl, however, mewed and pulled away, giggling in almost cute embarrassment.
Such a bad incubus. So bad. I should go.
Is W Riz? Yeah, whore is.
Ah, very well, you minx. Until we meet again.
The cat girl giggled before rushing out of the main hall, but not before Erik lowered his hand underneath her tail as she turned and let it slide across his fingers as she ran off, making the cat girl jump in surprise. The girl playfully glared at Erik, who only pouted innocent lips in return before she exited. However, as the girl left the room, Erik's face went from flirtatious to almost ice cold. Erik let out a sigh, gently rubbing his hands to rid them of the fur that had caught on them, and rolled his shoulders.
Well, mother, was that enough to please you?
I wonder why I don't like Erik. I don't know. I stared shocked at the personality change. What the heck happened to Erik? He was flirty, charming, and almost disgustingly complimentary. Blah, blah, blah. Sure. But the Erik was I seeing. The Erik I was seeing in the mirror wasn't him at all. A small red orb surrounded with a veil of purple mist entered the space, making my mind go blank. It approached Erik, glowing as it spoke.
Very well done, dear. Much better than I expected of you.
Thank you. You taught me well.
That I did. You must never forget, however, to always listen to your women. Serving them is your #1 priority. Should they be uncomfortable, you must step back and be as submissive as possible.
Yes, mother.
Oh, fuck.
Good. Now, continue to woo that cat girl. Once she gives you her energy, then you can toss her back out. You don't need any pets hanging around when you find another girl.
As you wish, mother.
I stared in utter shock. The orb vanished, but Erik remained in the hall, letting out a sigh. He had a look of displeasure on his face. He looked tired as well, but something seemed off. He looked like he had a lot on his mind, but his closed mouth wouldn't let him speak them. Sorry about that. He was submissive to his guidance. I turned away from the mirror to look at the Erik beside me, who had a look of both sadness and guilt. It was like a puppy admitting he chewed my favorite shoe, or a child stealing a cookie from the cookie jar. Erik stopped the magic, willing the mirror out of existence and letting it fade away into the air, before he looked at me.
She taught me well, at least what she could teach me anyway. That visage became habit, and now it's a natural persona to me. She taught me to always serve and make the women I met happy. She always said that was the true incubus way.
The true incubus way?
It makes sense, no? If I can please and serve any women I meet, then I can surely convince them to fully give their energy to me.
I began to see the mask Erik was wearing. He wasn't putting on airs because he was overly complimentary. He was complimentary in order to gain trust and respect. That is smart.
It is. However, I know what you're thinking, Princess. I don't blame you for thinking what you are thinking of right now.
Then what am I thinking of right now?
Who am I exactly? If I am truly not as flirtatious as I act, Then what do I act like? And will you be the next victim? I can assure you, Princess, that I am no danger to you.
I knew that. How can I be so sure?
Because, Princess, I don't deserve your trust or energy.
I stared, my mind going blank. What did he mean? Erik lifted my hand again and gently caressed it, staring down at it.
You've done so much for me and my brothers, sheltering us, letting us continue to live here. It may not seem like much, but to a family of brothers without anywhere to go, it means everything. I can't soil your gifts to us by taking anything from you. You've become so important and precious to us. To me. To take anything from you like that would be beyond unforgivable.
I watched in speechlessness. I watched in speechless silence as Erik lifted my hand higher and simply laid his lips against it. I could feel his frown and felt his shame burning itself into my skin. It was a pitiful sight and almost made my eyes water.
I could never do that to you.
Erik lowered my hand and lowered his head, ashamed. I couldn't help but feel my heart squeeze within my chest at the sight. He didn't want to hurt me. He truly cared. Erik let out a small sigh before looking to me, his face now clear of the flirtatious mask he bore for so long. He had a genuine, caring, and loving smile bared for me. This was the man inside of the incubus who cared for me and wanted to be revealed.
Now, Princess, you must get some more rest. You aren't fully recovered, and dinner is a good scent to wake up to.
Erik smiled gently. Erik smiled and gently pressed me back down onto the bed. Mwah! I couldn't let him leave without doing something. I quickly pulled Erik down to me, lifted my head, and gently kissed him, softly laying a hand on his cheek to keep his face close. Erik stared in deep surprise before hesitantly kissing me back, caressing my cheek and slightly melting at the touch of our lips. A soft sigh escaped his lips before he slowly pulled away with a smile. He gently licked his lips, making me go red in the face at the simple gesture. He let out a satisfied hum before nuzzling my forehead.
Sleep.
Erik is a good man. And here's Prophet. And with that, he stood up and left the room, leaving me to rest as per his request. I smiled to myself before relaxing into the mattress. Oh, fuck you. Okay. Down the flirty facade, but he calls you princess. We're just his princess, that's all. Is there a How? Excuse me, Mr. Princess Grass. Might I remind you of the name you hold? The title you have in this chat room? Princess? Yes. And let's not forget Mr. Princess Grass. Princess Grass, be aware of your title, motherfucker. Be aware of your title. I suddenly tensed up. I felt majorly uneasy. Something wasn't right. I felt it in my core. She must be here. The thought of her in the house infuriated me beyond belief. I had to make sure she was not here. I rolled out of bed and quickly left my room, wandering the halls and listening closely. She was a demon, but I was listening very intensely. That won't help you, darling. There was no way she would have been able to sneak up on me. You're an Otome protagonist. That is the easiest thing to do in the world. I shouldn't speak against my prince. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Grass. I know you're here. Where are you? Sorry. Yes, go to bed. Go to bed if you need to go to bed. I could feel myself growl. It wasn't a matter of fear that she'd take away the boys anymore. Her very existence had lit a fire of rage within my gut, which only grew as each day went by. This feud was getting on my nerves, and I knew it would not end well for one of us. I wasn't going to lose that demon. I wasn't going to lose to that demon bitch.
Diana, What a pleasant surprise.
My heart stopped. Diana was with Erik? My mind flew into slow motion, playing fake images of Diana trying to seduce Erik in my head to further fan the angry flame inside me. I'm not tired for some cuddle. Oh no. If you need to sleep, go to sleep. What was even worse was the fact that Erik could play into Diana's flirtatious games. I instinctively followed Erik's voice and blushed wildly. I was approaching the bathroom. The door was open just a crack, wide enough to peek in without being noticed. The fuck? I peeked inside to see Erik by the bathtub with Diana sitting on the sink, looking to him.
Such a gentleman. You know how to treat a woman.
That I do. However, I'm afraid that my manners will not replace my sickening hatred towards you.
Oof.
I'm hurt. Wounded, truly. Is this how you really address a woman?
A woman you may be, but you are an enemy as well.
Need a lullaby? Lavenders fall, dilly dilly, lavenders bloom. When I am king, dilly dilly, you shall be queen. Who told you so, dilly dilly, who told you so? It was thyself, dilly dilly, who told me so. Now go to bed. There you go. Don't make me a child, Grass.
Pity. And here I thought I was going to offer you the chance to become something better than just a simple incubus.
What was Diana going on about? More than just an incubus. Was she insane?
I highly doubt you have anything more than what I can have here in the human world.
How about becoming the next demon lord?
I don't wanna. Too bad! Go to bed! I froze. What did she mean? Becoming the next demon lord? The boys weren't in the demon world anymore. They had no claim to the throne anymore.
Becoming the next demon lord? You're overstepping yourself, don't you think? How can you know about who the throne goes to?
Well, currently, I'm the contracted bride to the heir to the throne. Since the throne is open, it's available to any son of the Demon Lord's line.
Yeah, you can just fall asleep watching stream. I don't mind.
Is that so?
It is. You'll gain the throne, the land, and a bride to continue your lineage with. Doesn't that sound like a perfect life for an incubus like you?
Oh, right. Right. I could feel myself gripping my fist tightly in anger. How dare this girl try to convince Erik to return to the demon world? He ran away from it. He didn't have to go back. He shouldn't go back. My mind began to wander, imagining him saying yes. He would leave, and the brothers would follow to bring him back. They'd be trapped because Diana would make sure they could never leave. Erik would be the new demon lord with Diana as his queen, and I'd lose him.
Sorry, but that actually doesn't sound appeasing at all.
What?
What? I felt surprise run down my body again. Did I hear Erik correctly? He denied her?
You dare deny!
Do not try to raise a tone to me. I am not as submissive as my training defines.
I could see the ethereal tendrils slowly form around Erik, taunting and threatening to strike at Diana.
You do not scare me. I can bring you to your knees and make you beg to return with me.
Yeah!
Such a cute bluff. You don't have enough power to do that, do you? Or else you would have already done it.
Erik smirked before making the tendrils fade away. Diana gripped the sink beneath her as Erik turned to adjust the shower head nonchalantly.
Besides, even if you did enthrall me, you wouldn't fully own me. I belong to her.
Oh.
The human girl? You must be joking. A human like her can't possibly provide you what you need. She's a human. You're a demon.
Have you lost your senses completely? Honestly, though, I literally was watching a stream. I was watching old GT Live videos. I was watching Amanda the Adventurer last night. Nothing has ever been comfier than my headphones while going to sleep. Love them. Can't live without them. I felt the urge to storm in and shut her mouth. It would give away my position, but I was growing extremely tired of Diana. Two other things too, but I always have like a charger right next to my bed. So that way I can like watch stuff. But what the fuck, that face? I decided to be assertive and quickly stepped into the room, throwing the door to the bathroom wide open. Diana and Erik looked at me in surprise as I glared daggers at Diana. Get out.
Well, well, little human. You're awfully nosy in business that doesn't concern you.
It does concern me.
Does it? I don't think a human would understand the importance of this affair.
You're asking him to leave to be someone he doesn't want to be. That's not going to happen.
Oh? And what makes you so sure about that?
I love him. Diana stared in shock at my exclamation. Was it not what she expected? What she expected? I didn't care what she expected. I wasn't going to lose the man I had grown to love.
You love him?
Yes, I love him. Diana's lips twitched, the edge curling into an amused smirk as she stared at me.
So what? A human's love isn't enough to understand the situation. A demon can never reciprocate human feeling.
To both our surprise, however, Erik stepped forward and put an arm around me, pulling me close to his body.
I love her.
Oh. I saw the confidence Diana had shatter in her eyes as she stared at Erik at his words. I could see the struggle in her face to try and find some weakness in Erik, in me, anything.
A demon love a human? Impossible.
Impossible? How utterly dim to think that. We are the masters of emotion. We aren't barred away from feeling love. In fact, we can experience it 10 times more powerfully than humans.
Oh my god, Chris, you're so dramatic. What the fuck? You're so dramatic. I love you, but you're so dramatic.
I love her with every single part of my being. However, I don't expect someone like you to understand love.
He said that like an anime protagonist. Round of applause, Chris. Round of applause. Well done, sir. Diana took a step back, physically feeling the sting of Erik's words in her chest. She had lost. I could see it in her eyes. Diana's eyes grew dull as she glared at me and Erik. It seemed almost uncharacteristic of her, yet it was something I was surprised to see come from her face.
Very well. Fine. Valet.
Tell her off. And with that, Diana faded into the ground into a purple pentagram, crossing her arms and almost looking upset. Erik and I were then left alone, left with the silence of the room. I let out the air I was unconsciously holding in my chest, relaxing from the ordeal. Erik stepped to me and held me gently, surprising me.
Are you okay, princess?
I nodded in response, unable to speak so immediately after being surprised. Erik let out a sigh, relaxing in the embrace. I gently placed my hands around him, returning the embrace slightly. I could hear Erik's heartbeat. He held me close in his arms, and I felt safe beyond words.
My sweet princess, how you've captured my heart.
I looked up at Erik, wondering what he meant by what he said. Erik smiled down at me, moving a strand of my hair from my face to look down at me.
I'm selfish, ignorant, and undeserving of everything you have done and given to me.
No, you're a good boy.
The way you accept me and see through my mask astounds me beyond words. And now, you've captured my heart and claimed it as yours to probably the greatest adversary in the abyssal plains.
Oh, that's cute.
You've made a demon fall in love with you. I've fallen in love with you and want to give you everything you deserve.
Aww. Look at Erik. Such a sweetie. I stared wide-eyed, blushing like a maniac. Was this real? No way. This couldn't be real. It was Erik confessing to me. Confessing his love for me. Erik gently smiled and caressed my cheek. The warmth of his hand invited me to nuzzle into it, and I closed my eyes. This wasn't a dream. My heart was pounding hard enough where I was sure Erik could hear it. Erik gently leaned in, closing his eyes. He stopped, however, remaining just a mere torturous inch away from my lips. He wanted me to show my feelings for him. He had left himself open for me to kiss him or leave him empty. The power I had was unbelievable. Mwah! I loved him and wanted to give him exactly what he wanted. I gently leaned in, letting my lips finally touch his gingerly. Erik let out almost a pleasured purr against my lips before wrapping both of his arms around my waist, pulling me close to him. I moved my arms up and around his neck, feeling the kiss between us deepen to a heated heights. No, can't be. I know, right? My chest was pounding, making me feel and see fireworks in my mind. Erik was everything I desired. He was the man I wanted, demon or not. It was all so supernatural to fall in love with someone so quickly. Maybe it was the sense of magic I was thrown into. Maybe it was Cupid playing with my heart. Either way, I found myself melting at the thought of him being with me. I found myself combing my fingers through Erik's hair, making the man holding me softly tremble at my touch. He gently nibbled my lower lip, asking to deepen the kiss between us even further. I easily teased him before opening my mouth slightly for him. His tongue gently danced with mine as one of his hands slid up my back and cradled my head. He gently leaned my body back, making me cling to him as the heat of our kiss rose higher and higher. Gently, though, Erik slowed the kiss down and pulled away, staring down at me. His eyes burned for me, wanting me to melt and buckle in his arms. I could feel myself melt already. Erik opened his mouth to speak, but as a very small blush ran across his cheeks, he was reduced to a shy silence. I stared as he tried to find the words to say in my eyes. I knew exactly what he wanted. He didn't need energy, though, right? Are you?
No, I just...
wasn't paying attention to the... Why are they in a fancy hotel bathroom? It's just the bathroom. Grass is so real for that, being like, I'm here, but where the fuck are we and why am I here? I stared wide-eyed, feeling a blush on my cheeks grow. He didn't say anything more, but I knew what words would have followed if he continued. He wanted me. I was stunned. Was I that appealing to him? Was his passion really that deep for me? Erik gently nuzzled my forehead, losing the blush and finally being able to speak. A small chuckle escaping from his lips.
If you don't want to...
Oh, shit. Sorry.
If you don't want to, we don't have to. I do have to shower after all, and you need your rest.
I didn't need that information, sir. Is there room for two? I could feel my mind go numb and purr at the idea. A moment with an incubus. He was a demon of sex, the purest form of lust and desire. My world would rock, and I would enjoy every second of it. At the same time, I was indeed inexperienced. Dana wasn't wrong when she claimed me to be innocent. Did I want to give that innocence to him? Especially this early. I found myself forgetting the words yes and no. What could I say to him? I knew then what I wanted, but to say it without breaking the moment. Need have a shower? We can both take a shower, Erik, if you know what I mean. Seduce me. I couldn't believe the two words that came out of my mouth. Thanks, Michaela. It made the most sense to tell him yes. I needed him. I wanted him. Those 2 words must have made something in him finally break. Erik simply ran his fingers down his vest and shirt, releasing the buttons and revealing his bare chest to me. I couldn't help but move one of my hands down his chest, running my fingers over the crevices of his muscles. A pleasured purr escaped his throat, making me shiver slightly. Erik let his vest and shirt slide down his arms to the floor before cradling my head in his hands and kissing me deeply. I felt heat rise in my body, making me undo the tie around my underneath my collar and releasing the buttons on my own shirt. I'm gonna keep quiet about this part. I'm gonna say, fair enough. I would join him for his shower. Then we'd head to bed together. Quickly, I removed my skirt and vest, making Erik stop kissing me and stare slightly in surprise. I was simply in a bra, but I could feel a blush invade my cheeks. Their chest, so he's here. Okay, my shy silence began to fester in my mind. Did I really want this? To undress before a demon? No, this was the man I loved, and yet I felt my innocence drape over me in almost shame. As if he knew, Erik gently caressed my cheek, smiling at me before kissing each cheek and whispering in my ear.
You're beautiful.
Currently, no thanks. Fair enough. Hey, everyone's got different comfortability. Comfortability? That is completely fair. This whole game is about consent. If you don't give it, it doesn't happen. If it's not verbal consent, it's not consent. But Jesus Chris, that was really cute. That was really cute. Those 2 words broke my limitation. I gave in. I yielded to my desires. Woo! Damn, boy! Before I knew it, he and I both stripped of clothing and in a very nice warm shower together. The heat between our bodies simply added to the warmth, making the shower a very steamy one. Erik pulled me close, knowing I was still shy, and began to kiss my lips over and over. Each kiss was his promise to keep me safe, keep me comfortable, love me. So cute. I kept my arms wrapped around Erik, taking each kiss he gave and giving him my own kisses in return. I didn't know if it was the fact we were both naked or maybe I just craved his touch. But I didn't want to let him go. The water ran over our bodies, cleansing our skins as we held onto each other like it was the end of the world. Even when Erik started to actually wash his body and mine, our bodies constantly touched. The fragrance of soap engraved itself into my memory as I let him touch me and clean me. He was gentle and sweet, making sure to be attentive to every part of me. However, as he held me, I could slightly feel the shiver of his hands. He was nervous. Was I his first? He wasn't going to show it. He wanted me to enjoy this moment, but was afraid of screwing up. His shivering hands showed me his emotions perfectly. Then my mind quickly made a realization. We were really going to join in the shower? I had imagined my first time to be in bed. I eventually pulled away from him after the last bit of soap was rinsed away from my skin. He looked at me worried, but I smiled. Not here. Erik stared for a brief moment before slightly smirking and nodding, gathering me back into his arms and kissing me. I felt warm magic gather around our bodies as the slight pattern of the running water vanished. I slightly opened my eyes to see that Erik and I were no longer in the shower, but in my bedroom. We were both dry, but the heat and passion remained. Erik guided me to the bed as a purple tendril made sure the door was closed and locked. Hey, good boy. Damn. I like that detail. That's funny. Good job, Mikhail. That's funny. Bro was like, my brothers aren't going to walk in on us. I'm going to make sure to lock the door. No other boy made sure to lock the door. That's funny. As he laid me down and knelt over me, Erik smiled and finally embraced me as we both desired. The pleasure between us would be heavenly and we'd go through it together. I closed my eyes and gave myself to Erik. My body, my mind, my soul, it all belonged to him as he held me. His body, his mind, his soul. It all belonged to him. It all belonged to me as I gave into his embrace. His kisses and fingers over my skin would forever engrave themselves into my memory as our passion rose through incredible heights. Our breaths and moans to each other equally sounded and echoed like a blissful chant we'd never wished to end. We kept moving, loving, feeling every inch of our bodies until we had had enough, and I was enveloped in his embrace. Skin to skin, heartbeats matching, we held each other in the glow of the aftermath. I nuzzled my head underneath Erik's chin as he held me close.
I love you so much.
Aww, that's cute. I love you too. Just to hear those words come from Erik's mouth made my heart flutter. To hear me answer made my soul warm in glee. I could feel both of us sink into a peaceful sleep together. It was the best sleep I had had in days, and I was happy. I had love and I had my happiness. My life was simply perfect. When I opened my eyes, I found myself staring into Erik's bare chest. I blushed, but I looked up to see Erik still sleeping. His sleeping face made me giggle softly, but the reality of the situation made my heart flutter. I still thought of myself as Princess. How am I having I'm not sure I like this. This is your fault. Blame yourself. Have to get dirty before getting clean, law. Hell yeah. And a little steamy too. I couldn't believe it. I was laying next to the man I had grown to love with all my heart. I'm probably going to play Damien's right after this. We're going to skip. Oh, what? Was I seriously being given the choice? The man I loved wanted demon like day.
I can give you
I
your
forget
freedom
what
with
the answer
ease.
was.
It'll be like you were...
No. She must have been crazier than I thought. I glared. Absolutely not. Honestly, don't know how I feel either. Been questioning... Hey, that's fair. You're allowed to do that. That's totally fair. That's okay. Hey, you'll figure it out as you go. None of us know what we like until we try it. Then that's okay. Dan aside and stood up onto the railing. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I was happy. The rest of the story can almost be passed over within a blah, blah, blah. Yes, we've read this. Our love was so powerful, it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found holding me close in the morning. Okay, there we go. One thing was for certain, however. Erik loved me and I loved him just as much. We had promised our lives to each other and nothing was going to take that away from us, not even time itself. Our love was so powerful, it practically overwhelmed me with joy every time I found him holding me close every morning. To think, a demon in love with a human like me. It was unthinkable, unbelievable. It was practically impossible. But it was true. The other boys decided to leave of their own accord. They knew my future would only need Erik at my side, so they each decided to start their own lives in the human world. Erik understood perfectly and vowed to serve me well, wishing his brothers the best. Besides, Erik had someone new to care for now. His brothers didn't need to worry about him now that he was caring for me. I felt bad as well for being closer to Erik than the others, but they reassured me that I was okay and that they would remain nearby should I ever need them. I was happy for that. They made me promise, however, that I would love Erik for as long as we lived. That promise was instantly given. But what of my future? And we're skipping over this. I've read this 5 million times. I no longer blah, blah, blah. That being said, I was still scared of the future. What would do blah, 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 yada, yada. Erik reassured me that he would support me and help me through whatever I decided to do. I was grateful and would never forget that promise. I was happy and nothing could shake me down from that happiness. What did grass do now? You have plenty of time to think that you're still a child. Oi, if I'm called baby, it's okay, Emmy. Don't worry about it. One evening, a good couple years after the boys and I had met, I had a moment to myself, so I wandered my house and took in all that had happened as if it was all a dream. The demons, the devils, the magic. It all was surreal to believe. It almost frightened me to think that it could have been all a dream. But the warm feeling in my heart reminded me that it was all real. The demons, the magic, the love I had, all real. I smiled as I held my hands to my chest, relishing in the feeling dancing within my soul. I let out a happy sigh before looking up and seeing where I had wandered to. I was standing at the entrance of the backyard, and the door was slightly ajar. I peeked out to see Erik standing out by the gazebo, looking up at the moon and the sky. Okay, I can change the thumbnail now. Hold on. I'm going to change the thumbnail before we finish stream. Because we're going to finish this today. Right now. Change. There it is. Open. Save. There we go. Beautiful. I slowly opened the door and exited the house, walking towards the man who held my heart. Hearing the grass... There you are, grass. Beneath my feet, Erik turned his head and smiled at me.
Good evening, princess.
I smiled and blushed a bit, moving to stand at Erik's side. What are you doing out here?
I'm merely making friends with the moon, my love.
I laughed at him. I blushed deeper. Hearing him call me his love made my heart skip a beat. Erik chuckled, most likely being able to see the blush through the darkness of the night.
I wanted to see the night sky. The yard is one of the more perfect places to stargaze. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, we're already at the end. Might as well. It's not too much longer than I usually go. I volunteer. Emmy, pat. Yeah. I found myself staring up at the sky as well. The stars all glimmered in the dark blue, almost pitch black sky. They all seemed to cast an entrancing spell on my eyes, not letting me look away. Not that I cared anyways. Erik gently wrapped an arm around my waist, pulling me close to him without breaking my stare at the sky.
I don't deserve you, you know.
I raised an eyebrow and looked to Erik, confused. What did he mean? Erik simply stared at the sky, holding me gently to him. Grass is my parent. Oh, Emmy's been adopted! Emmy's been adopted in chat!
You're much too wonderful to be loving a demon such as myself. As cliche as it may be, the beauty fell in love with a beast.
Oh.
A beast with an insatiable hunger for lust.
Oh, come now. But you're not a beast, Erik. That's Sam. That's Sam, not you, my love. Erik looked down at me in slight surprise. I turned my body to him and gently held his cheeks in my hand, feeling him nuzzle gently into it and cradle it with his own hand. And to be a good princess like your father. You're not a beast, nor will you ever be. You're Erik, and you're the man I want to love for the rest of my life. Demon or not, I love you. Erik stared, looking lost at what looking lost at what to say at my words. It was all true, though. So you're princess. Your father is princess, and Emmy is princess. He had faults, sure, but who didn't? I enjoyed his company and adored every part of his personality. The mask he wore would slowly fade over time. Or maybe not. After all, his mask is part of who I fell in love with. Erik gently moved his hand and kissed my palm, closing his eyes and absorbing what I had said. He gently opened his eyes, partially, staring past my hand.
Sometimes I forget that you're human. You entrance me better than any demon could. You're truly unbelievable. Are you real, or am I dreaming?
Sorry, I'm distracted by chat. Sorry. Yes, Erik, I'm real. I'm right here. Erik finally looked to me, a look of desperate need in his eyes. You're not dreaming. I gently guided Erik's face down with my hand and kissed him softly. reminding him of my touch and reaffirming my words. He stared at me as if his greatest wish had come true. I fought back a giggle at the sight. Erik gently pulled me to him, facing me to hug me to his chest. I nuzzled into Erik's chest, hearing his gentle heartbeat and memorizing its tempo.
You'll regret it, I promise you. You'll regret loving someone like me.
You underestimate me. Erik chuckled softly, the sound of his laughter sending happy waves down my spine. Erik smiled down at me and kissed the top of my head. My focus, however, traveled down my hand, which had become gently held by Erik's. His thumb grazed over my ring finger, where I could feel soft veins of energy tingle on my skin. I watched as, around my ring finger, a small vine wrapped itself around and tied itself into a lovely ring. The ring held a beautiful purple flower with a red gem in the middle, glistening in the moonlight. I gasped before looking up to Erik, who slightly smirked down at me.
See? I'm taking advantage of you already.
Ah! Sailor Moon! She is the one named Sailor Moon. She is the one, Sailor Moon! Erik. Erik gently moved his hand and cradled my cheek, replacing the smirk on his face with a tender smile that made my heart skip a beat.
I don't know what I did to deserve you, but I swear to love you till the end of days and beyond. You make me feel so complete. I can no longer imagine what I would do in life without you. Let me stay with you. I love you so much.
I felt my heart going a million miles an hour. Was this truly happening? Yes, it was. I felt it. I knew it. Out of pure happiness, I wrapped my arms around Erik and kissed him deeply. Erik stared before holding me to him and kissing deeply back, pouring all of his love to me into that kiss. I did the same for him, not wanting to wake up if this was indeed a dream. I felt light as a feather, not wanting to ever let go of this man in my arms. There was no words that could describe the emotions within me. I felt joy, happiness, ecstatic, high, all at once. Here I was, kissing the man I would be with forever under the beautiful moonlight of the night. I had gained the heart of a demon. No, of a man I loved. I vowed to cherish him and love him for the remainder of my days and beyond. Could a demon love a human forever? I knew Erik would. And that was my happily ever after. Yay! Beautiful. And that's that. That's Erik. All right. I don't know what's playing right now. Okay, we'll skip. There we go. All right. Oh, good one. Brilliant. That's how we're ending it. Great. Well, that's stream, everybody. That's Erik's route. That was fun. That was cute. I like that. I don't know. I don't want this song. Hold on. Let me change it. What do I want? This one. Yeah, I like this one. This is Damien's theme. Yay! Yay! Very sweet, very cute. We love Erik. Thank you all, little stars. I'm glad that we were able to figure things out. Princess of Butterflies. That's cute. I love that. I love that. Princess of Butterflies. Grass is the princess of puns. Prophet is the princess of V. Inside joke, don't worry about it. Inside joke, inside joke. I'm probably gonna get bonked for that later. But yes, that's a wrap on stream today. We are playing some Undertale, Wednesday. Wednesday. I have to look at my schedule. I honest to God don't remember this stuff. But that's stream, everybody. Yes, Princess of V. I'm glad that Prophet liked my joke. Princess of puns, yes. Everybody here is a princess. When you're here, you're a princess. Doesn't matter how you identify, you are a princess. I will gladly be his princess. Anyways, little stars, that is all I have for you this stream, so I shall see you all another night. Until then, little princesses, keep shining.